My name is Victoria Renner, and I'm a guidance counselor at Fulford Academy, and I also teach math and science courses. So one of the questions I've been asked is how do we nurture future goals for students at Fulford Academy? So this is actually a real team approach, and it starts really in grade 10 when students take our careers course. And during that course, they start to think about what are their strengths, what are their interests, and what do they actually like to do. From there, we take that information and we bring it into one-on-one interviews as the students move into grade 11. And we start talking about, well, how could you turn that into a career? What are you interested in doing? And we look at doing some research and we provide some guidance on how to do that. What information do you need to find out so the students can make sure that they're taking the courses in grade 11 and 12 that they need to get accepted into their post-secondary option of choice. How does guidance support students at Fulford Academy? So guidance really becomes active with students in grade 11 and 12. What we do is we have a weekly meeting with our senior students. Typically lasts between an hour and an hour and a half. And we cover a range of topics. So in September, I do a lot more talking, and we talk about the education system, particularly in Ontario, but also throughout Canada. And we talk about the different post-secondary institutions that are available, both universities and colleges. We try to clarify any misconceptions or questions that students have to make sure that they understand how the process works. As September wraps up, we look at encouraging students to go out to things like a university fair or a college fair, or both, so that they can meet with people from those schools and ask their questions and find out for themselves what they're interested in, what the school is like, and if they can imagine it being a good fit for them. As we roll into October, our focus changes a little bit. Most of our students will need to do some language testing, and so we provide a lot of extra support for that. So we'll time people doing practice IELTS tests and provide some advice on how they can improve. For students that don't have to do that, then they can use that time for other individual things, including research for the university or college applications. As we move into November and December, students are finishing off their research process and they're finishing up their application process, and we provide a lot of support for that because it is confusing and every university or college website is actually different. So sometimes finding out the piece of information that you want can be a real challenge. So we try to help out with that. As we roll into January, we talk a lot about scholarships and bursaries, and the students get a lot of extra time and support to work on any supplemental pieces that they need for their applications. After that, it becomes very student-led, so we really try to address student questions. Are you curious about dorm life? Are you trying to figure out if you should live in a dorm or you should live in an apartment? Do you have any other concerns about the academic or the social aspect of your post-secondary option? And so we'll bring in guest speakers and really try to focus in on what the students are concerned and worried about. So what is one good habit that a secondary school student could have in terms of preparing themselves to meet their future goals? I would offer two pieces of advice. One would be explore and the other would be reflect. So a lot of times people get very focused on school being the be-all and end-all of their life to that point, but it's about more than that. It's about taking advantage of volunteer opportunities, and it's about asking yourself questions. Did I like that? Was I good at it? What part did I like? Was it the people part? Did I enjoy the sensation of helping others and feeling good about that? Was it that I really enjoyed the fact that I was working outside and I was moving things around and I enjoyed being in nature? Was it a matter that you enjoyed how busy it was and you enjoyed that buzz that you got from that? So we encourage students to really start thinking about those types of questions because that also influences your career. So the more things you try, and that's clubs, that's other extracurricular activities, that's volunteer work, that's your classes at school, the more things you'll have a chance to say, yes, I know something about that and I do like that, or I've tried that and that is definitely not for me, both of which are really helpful in terms of making any type of decision in your life.